guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here, and welcome again to another video reaction. And today I want to react to the newly announced Batman premium format from Sideshow Collectibles. This piece has stirred a lot of controversy. Yes, you really stirred the pot. A lot of people are hating this piece. A lot of people are defending the piece. So there's controversy among collectors as usual. But in this video, I want to break down the information that we have so far. The good and the bad, the things I like, the things I don't like, and ultimately let you know how I feel about this piece. Is it a good purchase or not? So in the next couple of minutes, stay tuned. Well guys, I'm here at Sideshow's website, and I'm going to have the link in the description for those who are interested to come and take a look and you really go through the information and the photos. And as you can see, it says right there, Gotham is safe under the watchful eye of the Batman premium format figure. This is the piece that everyone saw at first. This is the preview photo, and to me, this is a good photo. It's a good photo. I'm not denying on that. It's a good selling point. Looks very good, looks menacing. Of course, this is Photoshop and all that, so it makes it look great, even with the rain hitting his cape. All of that looks phenomenal. Right there it says, I made a promise on the grave of my parents that I would rid this city of the evil that took their lives. Sideshow presents the Batman premium format figure waiting in the shadow to join your DC Comics collectible. Of course, we're going to look at the pictures closely in a moment. Right there it says the Batman premium format figure measures 22.5 inches tall, cloak against the dark skies of Gotham City as he joins the lurking gargoyles that watch the streets below. Crouch in wait, Batman observes from the perfect vantage point to get the drop on his foes and dish out his signature brand of justice. The Batman premium format figure features a fully sculpted blue and gray costume from the top of his stoic cowl portrait to the bottom of his dramatic swooping cape. Immensely detailed in dark blues and blacks, Batman's cape take on a life of its own, and it melts Bruce Wayne with the gothic architecture of his crime-ridden city. His costume features yellow accents on the utility belt and his iconic bat symbol, completing the grim appearance of the legendary Cape Crusader. The Batman premium format figure also comes with a swap-out left hand, giving you the choice to display him with closed fists or clutching a grappling rope. Now, the exclusive edition of the Batman premium format figure includes an additional grimacing portrait that features shorter ears on the cowl. Make criminals cower in fright with this exclusive swap-out display option for the Dark Knight. And right here it says, take your DC Comics collection to the rooftops of Gotham and bring home the Batman premium format figure today. Pre-orders for the Batman premium format figure will begin on Thursday, May 7, which is today, between 12 p.m. 3 p.m. Pacific time. The collector's edition will be priced at $600 USD. The exclusive edition will be priced at $620 USD. So in these situations, of course, you gotta go for the exclusive if you want the extra parts. Okay, now we're looking at the pictures. Of course, this is the perfect picture. Like I said, I think it's perfect. It sells everything well. Everything looks fine there. This one is not bad. Now you can see, of course, the classic gray and blue. This, of course, has the clenched fist, just a regular hand. And then the hand with the grappling hook. He's holding the hook right there. Looks fine. Everything seems fine right there. I wouldn't say it's bad. Of course, some people might not like this design. They prefer different, it depends on what type of, Batman you grew up reading. And of course, a lot of people are not really happy with this one. And I would say that it does seem different. When you compare it to this one, of course, it's a different angle, and at the end of the day, it's all about angles. Angles really, really tell you a lot. This one, it's hard to tell exactly what they were trying to accomplish with this. It does have a lot of things in it, a lot of different interpretations. You can see the influence of Mike Mignola on this pose from the Gotham by Gaslight, even though it's not from that, but it does have kind of that with the pose. I do see, it reminds me a little bit of the old Bowen piece as well, the original Bowen, Batman Bowen, which is a classic piece. I do see some of that. Of course, a lot of people are complaining, I heard that, because of the cape being too long. Batman has long capes. It depends. Like you see, in this case, McFarlane did the long cape. Norm Brayfogle did a long cape. Even Kelly Jones did long capes. And of course, when you come to think of it, I do see that there's a lot of influence here. It feels that this is a Batman from the late 80s, I would say early 90s. And you can see all the influence. It necessarily has to be a version. It's not like a Jim Lee version or any other version. It's just a Batman that takes a lot of inspiration from, I would say, the dark era of comics where Batman was really, really dark, and there were a lot of stories from Batman. Breyfogle did so many different novels and stories where Batman was like this with the long cape and stuff like that. So I think they took inspiration from that. I wouldn't say it's bad. I just don't see this as a premium format. This is going to be a huge piece because that's a 12 base. So not necessarily I consider this a really wise decision if you're trying to, pit this or, display this with other pieces. It's just a unique piece. This angle looks better, and I can see the Mignola influence there. Now, again, this is the best angle, but you're not going to display it like this. You have to see it from the front. And of course, the cape say it's unnatural. At the end of the day, this is not a practical thing. It's just more like an interpretation of Batman. As you can see with that long cape. I even read some people making comparisons with, in this case, with Spawn, saying Batman is not Spawn. But, actually, Spawn took a lot of inspiration from Batman. McFarlane did Batman before. Years prior, he was working on Batman, doing a lot of the covers and doing some of the art. And that's how McFarlane got famous. Really, it's the work he did with Batman before he went into do Spawn. So this is, it's a funny note. I'm a comic book geek, so I can tell that. And this is the one with the, the pointy, ears. And definitely this is Norm Breyfogle right here. And some people might even say some interpretation from Kelly Jones, although Kelly Jones was a bit more extreme. But Kelly Jones did a lot of covers where this was the pose, where he was standing like that. This is a gargoyle, looks good. It's a bat. It's an interesting concept. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily something that needed to be done in a 1/4 scale. I would say that this is perhaps a 1/6 scale. I think tops. That's just the way I see it. And here you see the different angles. The face looks fine. The eyes are small. That's very Kelly Jones right there. Maybe like some people were saying they would prefer this in black. I would say perhaps, yeah, maybe black would have worked better than the blue. Although I think they're going to have a variant. You know how it is. But here you can see the exclusive alternate Callan expressions. I would say that the regular seems fine. The alternate one, the exclusive one, it does have more like the bat feel, and it does remind me of Norm Breyfogle in some ways. Although Norm Breyfogle did a lot with the eyes, the squinky, in this case the eyes were different. One was bigger than the other one, which was very nice. It was a signature style. It just does have some of it. It does have a lot of Mike Mignola's influence there. I can see that when he was doing the covers and doing the art. Not necessarily I love this pose. Look at that. It looks kind of dorky like that. So I'm not trying to put this down and say this is bad, because ultimately, at the end of the day, are people working in this. It's a concept. Not one person designs the whole thing. There's a designer. There's people working with the design. And of course, it needs to be approved by DC. And if DC seems that it says that it's okay, well, who am I? I'm not DC. I don't work for DC. I'm not an insider. This is a very interesting photo. Actually, this one looks better. Now I can see the angles. So definitely at certain angles, it depends on the angle. If you put this on high, definitely it's going to look more menacing. But like some people are saying, and it's true, when you have other versions of Batman on gargoyles, like a 1/3 scale Prime 1 Studios, or necessarily the best, I would say the best choice if you're only collecting 1/4. But in many ways, it feels better. So yeah, I can see what people are saying. It does have a lot of different influence there, but not necessarily sticks with one. It's just so many different interpretations. So it depends if you really like this concept. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's good for what it is, but not necessarily it's my cup of tea, of everyone's cup of tea. Now this one looks great there, and yeah, this reminds me of Gotham by Gaslight. It's just there. It's Mike Mignola's work, but not necessarily. It's just, I would say, the ultimate expression of the ultimate interpretation of the Caped Crusader. And before I go, I want to show you this Batman bus. This is another bus for this DC line that, to me, it's coming out pretty nicely. We already had the Wonder Woman, and of course now we have Batman, and Batman looks pretty good. Although this is more like a modern version of Batman, this is really closer to the previous premium format that they did, and it kind of is the same style. Looks good. Some people are liking it. Some people are actually preferring the head skull on this one than, of course, the premium format. But to me, those are two different variants, two different interpretations. So it's not like you really need to compare them. It's not fair to compare one to the other. Some people are complaining about this bus line. They don't like the fact on this one, for example, that only has one arm. I don't see the problem with it. It is a bust, and you have to keep in mind that as a bust, the purpose is to display in a different way. I think sometimes people see premium formats or statues as a whole thing, and you have to have it the whole piece of 2 arms or no arms at all, or the full size piece in order for that to be a valuable collectible. In my opinion, it's not. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. I'm a fan of bust, mini bust, or of anything. So I think this is fair. It is fine. I think they're doing great with this line. It's going to be on pre-order soon. Definitely, I like this one. Well, guys, there you have it. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not crazy about this Batman. I gotta be honest. That doesn't mean that I consider this a bad piece. I know that some people are going to see the beauty in it because at the end of the day, art is subjective and people have difference of opinion. And you're not going to see the same thing the same way, particularly when it comes about characters like this, like Batman, that has been in the mind of many people for many years, over 75 years. So definitely you're going to have differences of opinion. Everyone has a different Batman or a different variation of Batman. This piece, I wouldn't say that fits a profile. It has a lot of influence from so many different artists. At the end, it's a rendition that some people are going to like. It's pretty much kind of plays homage to the Bat, and ultimately that's what it is. And it's not necessarily something that I would prefer in my collection. I don't think it's a piece that can work so well as I would say with companions, with other pieces. It is more like a standalone piece, and ultimately you have to like it for what it is. It's not something that I'm crazy about. I gotta be honest, I'm a bit disappointed with it. But I do believe at the end of the day, is in the hands of the artist to do the interpretation that they see fit. And if they think this is the best thing, and some people are going for it, so by all means, it's a free world. People can do whatever they want. So ultimately, I leave it to the decision of you if you really think this is worthy or not. Ultimately, in my case, I wouldn't pick it, but it's at the end, it's your money, it's your collection, so you decide. But what is your opinion? Are you crazy for this one, or are you just disappointed like most? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless you. Take care, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.